Scientists have found that a thick layer of diamonds may exist hundreds of miles beneath Mercury's surface.
In a moment that rippled across scientific communities and alternative circles alike, the James Webb Space Telescope JWST, the crown jewel of modern space observation, was abruptly shut down by U.S. authorities after capturing a series of unexpected, enigmatic images of the planet Mercury. What followed wasn't a press conference or a carefully worded statement from NASA. There was no detailed breakdown of data, no immediate disclosure to the public. Instead, the telescope's feed was terminated, and information surrounding its last transmissions was swiftly locked behind layers of bureaucratic silence. For those paying attention, it was a move as startling as it was suspicious. Before we start, smash the like and subscribe buttons for more updates. The James Webb Space Telescope had been launched with the promise of exploring the earliest galaxies, analyzing distant atmospheres, and uncovering the architecture of the universe with unprecedented clarity. Positioned far beyond the interference of Earth's atmosphere, it had begun delivering images that rivaled imagination. Spectacular deep-field observations and intricate glimpses into cosmic birthplaces. But amid all the anticipated marvels, no one expected the telescope to turn its ultra-sensitive optics toward Mercury, the scorched, battered rock closest to the Sun. Mercury, for most intents and purposes, had long been considered a known entity. Small, heavily cratered, devoid of atmosphere, and bombarded by solar radiation, it was viewed as a hostile relic of the solar system's formation. Previous missions like Mariner 10 and Messenger had mapped its surface in painstaking detail, but Webb's imaging capabilities dwarfed those of its predecessors, enabling it to peer beneath the planet's reflective glare with new depth and spectral sensitivity. It was during one of these imaging sessions, reportedly routine in nature, that JWST locked onto a series of anomalies that would bring its mission to an abrupt halt. What the telescope revealed has remained the subject of both fevered speculation and whispered confirmation among those in the know. Sources close to the aerospace and defense community leaked that JWST had captured irregular geometric structures on Mercury's night side, areas shrouded in permanent darkness where temperatures plunge and solar influence is minimal. These were not random rock formations or natural mineral compositions. The alignments appeared too deliberate, too symmetrical, echoing patterns more associated with intelligent design than geological chance. Large, rectangular arrangements, angular towers casting unnatural shadows, and spectral signatures that didn't match any known elements on the planet's surface. These were some of the details that reportedly triggered a scramble at NASA headquarters. The first internal response was disbelief. Mercury, lacking tectonic activity and atmosphere, was never considered a candidate for either present or past life, much less the site of artificial constructs. Scientists initially assumed instrument malfunction, but repeated calibration checks confirmed the integrity of the telescope's sensors. The data remained consistent, and the objects were captured over multiple exposures. Then came the chilling realization. These formations weren't transient. They weren't shadows, flares, or cosmic noise. They were fixed, structured, and inexplicably present on a planet humanity thought it understood. Following this discovery, communication between JWST and Earth grew strained. Not technically, but administratively. Command signals were intercepted and rerouted through layers of clearance. Observers noted a sudden spike in classified traffic at NASA, the Department of Defense, and even private aerospace contractors. What was once a transparent public mission became opaque overnight. Teams were quietly restructured, some reassigned, others placed under non-disclosure agreements. Within a matter of days, the JWST's operations went dark, its data feeds severed from public access without explanation. The official line cited a temporary systems recalibration and a planned observational rescheduling. But those monitoring the mission knew otherwise. The timing was too exact, the shift too abrupt. As the space community absorbed the shock, speculation began to coalesce around one damning conclusion. The Webb telescope had inadvertently revealed something on Mercury that was never meant to be seen, something so provocative that it prompted the US government to shut it down entirely. The implications were staggering. If the anomalies were artificial, the very foundations of planetary science and our understanding of life in the solar system were in question. But the silence surrounding the event only fueled more questions. Why Mercury? Why now? And who or what built those structures? One possibility that gained traction was the idea of an ancient civilization, perhaps predating known history, that once inhabited or utilized Mercury. Its harsh conditions today don't preclude the possibility of a very different past. There is evidence across the solar system, Mars, the Moon, even certain asteroids, suggesting that intelligent life may have left behind traces of its existence. If Mercury harbored such evidence, it could represent a key piece in a much larger cosmic puzzle. Its proximity to the Sun, long considered a disadvantage, may have once offered energy advantages to technologically advanced beings. Another theory ventured into darker territory. What if the structures weren't relics, but active installations? The notion that non-human intelligence could be monitoring or using Mercury in the present era sent shivers through defense establishments. Given Mercury's limited exploration history, it's plausible that key sectors of its surface remain vastly underobserved. JWST's advanced imaging might have illuminated features that previous missions simply missed or were unable to detect. This leads into an even more unsettling possibility. Perhaps these discoveries weren't entirely new to NASA or military intelligence. Some theorists argue that this event was less about revelation and more about exposure, that JWST had stumbled onto a classified reality, one that certain agencies had worked hard to suppress for decades. The abrupt nature of the shutdown and the precision with which information was sealed suggests pre-existing contingency protocols, as if someone had anticipated that such a moment might come. The decision to shut down Webb, albeit temporarily, as is widely believed, was not made lightly. Billions of dollars had been invested, decades of development had culminated in its deployment, and global scientific interest had reached a fever pitch. Yet, faced with the risk of uncontrolled disclosure, the authorities chose secrecy. It wasn't just about protecting the telescope's integrity, it was about controlling the narrative, maintaining geopolitical balance, and perhaps shielding humanity from knowledge it isn't prepared to integrate. The consequences of such a decision reverberate far beyond the scientific realm. When a publicly funded scientific instrument is abruptly silenced, questions of transparency, accountability, and public trust come sharply into focus. The incident has exposed the fragile intersection between exploration and control, between the pursuit of knowledge and the mechanisms that guard it. It also raises the specter of what else might be hidden, not only on Mercury but throughout the solar system. Public reaction, while muted due to the lack of official acknowledgement, has grown steadily. Within online forums, scientific communities, and independent research groups, the event has become a flashpoint. Analysts are dissecting transmission logs, spectrographic anomalies, and satellite data in hopes of reconstructing what happened during those final hours of Webb's Mercury imaging session. Engineers who once worked on the JWST project have been quietly approached by both media outlets and intelligence agencies, each probing for pieces of the puzzle. Despite the clampdown, fragments of information continue to leak. A handful of images believed to be from the final Mercury pass have surfaced, albeit in degraded form. They depict sharp angles where none should exist, reflective surfaces positioned against jagged craters, and shadows that imply vertical elevation inconsistent with natural rock formations. Though unverifiable, these images have ignited a fervor that refuses to fade. Scientists in the know walk a fine line. While their curiosity compels them toward discovery, many are now wary of crossing invisible boundaries. The Webb shutdown has become a cautionary tale, a moment when the boundaries of sanctioned knowledge became painfully visible. What lies on Mercury may not remain hidden forever, but for now it exists in a space of shadow, seen, known, and sealed away. Still, the implications won't vanish with silence. If artificial structures exist on Mercury, whether ancient or active, then the story of our solar system must be rewritten. No longer is humanity alone on a path of intelligence and technology. We are either successors to a forgotten age or participants in a shared cosmic stage, one where other actors move just beyond the spotlight. The Webb Telescope, ironically built to reveal the universe's deepest secrets, may have pointed its lens not outward into galaxies untold, but inward toward truths far closer to home, truths that shake the very foundation of our planetary self-image. Whatever was captured by JWST in those fateful moments is now locked behind security protocols and institutional silence. but the echo of that discovery reverberates still, a low hum beneath the official narrative. It is a reminder that space, though mapped in charts and studied in models, still holds places that defy comprehension. And when light touches those forbidden corners, whether on Mercury or beyond, the darkness that follows may not be ignorance, but a deliberate veil, one placed not by the cosmos, but by those who fear what it might reveal. If you like this video, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel. Also, leave your comments below and tell us, what are your thoughts on NASA hiding Mercury? What do you expect Webb saw? We want to hear from you. Thank you for watching and see you next time.